Thank you very much. And this is the only occasion on which I get to speak before the Chief Justice. Madam Chief Justice, I'm grateful for your kind indulgence. Mr. President, now Akufo-Addo, Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Araba Iseba Saki Tokonu, Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana, here in present, Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, eminent clergy, Honorable Ministers of State, Honorable Deputy Ministers of State, former Attorney General, Honorable Joe Gatti, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Mr. Alfred Tuyayeboa, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Ms. Diana Sunaba Dapa, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies, the President of the Ghana Bar Association, our eminent traditional rulers, the Solicitor General, the Director of Public Prosecutions, former Solicitor General, and also an eminent traditional ruler of Asokore traditional area, and our daughter, Susubribi Kobe Asante, Executive Directors and heads of agencies under the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Chief Executive Officers of state-owned institutions and other privately owned entities, and may I acknowledge the presence of my supportive and beautiful wife, Joycelyn Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, with great joy in my heart, I welcome you to this event. Knowing the special place the Law House occupies in the hearts of state attorneys around the country, it's an honor to be the Attorney General who has driven this project to completion. And it's a day the Lord has made, and we rejoice in it. When I was appointed the Attorney General in 2021, I requested the relevant heads of agencies under the ministry and all regional heads of the various, for a presentation of what I termed urgent and most pressing needs, so as to obtain a primary and comprehensive insight into the matters of utmost concern to the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice, its regional offices, and various agencies under the ministry. Top on the list of the presentation made by the various of departments and regional offices was the debilitating office accommodation challenge. The dreadful infrastructural and logistical hardships facing the ministry were legendary, as even at the head office, some of the lawyers were operating from what is described in Ghanaian parlance as containers, a situation I consider very deplorable. I deemed it unacceptable for attorneys who assist important institutions of state navigate the myriad of legal challenges they are confronted with, and some of whom are actually Ivy League scholars, to be using containers at their offices. Other problems principally related to grossly insufficient budget for the operations of the ministry, lack of vehicles to facilitate the duties of state attorneys in justice delivery, and severe technological challenges. Working visits by me to the office of various agencies under the Ministry of Justice to ascertain at first hand the fiscal conditions under which they operate confirmed the reports I received. These visits were revealing as the hugely undesirable working environment of some agencies and the lack of basic tools for service relation came to the fore. Mr. President, by virtue of the duties conferred on me with my appointment, I pledge my unalloyed commitment to the resolution of all problems militating against the work of the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. A resolution of the office accommodation challenge of the head office of the Minister of Justice, in my view, lay in the completion of the Law House. The shell of the block works had been sitting there for decades with same abandoned for a number of years. I immediately got Michelle's Architectural Engineering Services Limited to undertake a structural analysis in order to satisfy myself about the safety of a continuation of the construction. After all, it was supposed to be occupied by lawyers, and I could not comprehend the gravity of lawsuits that I would be confronted with in negligence and other torts in the unfortunate event of any accident occurring. AESL reported to me they were fully confident about the results of the structural integrity. In all of this, the utmost cooperation of the President and Minister for Finance were phenomenal. Sir, I sat down with you, and I was the beneficiary of your kindness and goodwill. In the face of many competing demands on the public purse, your unique recognition of the importance of the legal sector to national development and the need to satisfy the critical needs of the sector were simply remarkable. I perceive the President's commitment to this project as divine. Indeed, he was responsible for the inception of the project as Attorney-General, and he was the man to commission it as President of the Republic. And I would say that hardly have the stars aligned to make a story so impressive. Following a special appeal I made to Cabinet in June 2021, the Minister for Finance at the time, Mr. Akufo-Addo, assured me of regular release of funds to support the construction of the Law House, and he honored his word. My zeal to execute the project, however, suffered its own hiccups. In assessing the volume of work to be done, I realized, to my chagrin, that the agreement had expired since 2008. Works had been going on without any form of approval since then. The legality of a continuation of works was not in doubt, and I took account of my peculiar circumstances as one prosecuting various violations of procurement regulations and financial malpractices. I did not want to be, as the Ghanaian would say, caught in the same soup as those I was prosecuting. A considerable amount of time was thus spent on obtaining relevant statutory approvals for the project, particularly from the Public Procurement Authority, for an engagement of the same company which had been working on the project since about the year 2001, Enego Project Limited, to continue with the outstanding works on the project. The Ministry of Finance graciously granted a commencement warrant for the completion of the outstanding works on 3rd February 2022. Rather strangely, after the grant of the commencement warrant to the Ministry of Finance, the Enego Project started expressing an inability to continue with the works as a result of some conditions in the commencement warrant. I was going to say bench warrant. The commencement warrant given by Ministry of Finance. The company terminated the contract. The Ministry of Justice accepted the termination, of course, without any risk of judgment debt. We were compelled to take the rather painful decision to apply to the PPA to cancel the approval given in favor of that company, identify a new contractor for the project, and for PPA to approve the appointment to the new contractor, Mustech Engineering Services Limited. It is necessary to state that after scaling the initial challenges, the Ministry of Finance consistently honored all requests for payment of work done by the contractor. It is thus a source of deep satisfaction that I see Mr. Akufo-Addo come this morning to share in the joy of this occasion with us. His successor, Honorable Amin Adam, has continued the tradition of close collaboration with my office. Indeed, he has assured me that he's going to give a warrant for the recruitment of about 70 or 100 attorneys. It's right there. Recounting the support to the Ministry of Finance as a worthy partner for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, I recall the release of the entire sum required by the Office of the Attorney General for a satisfaction of its agents' needs in 2021. Out of this, the Ministry made a giant acquisition of 91 vehicles comprising saloon cars, pickup vehicles, and Toyota buses to assist in the performance of duties by state attorneys. The acquisition of 91 vehicles for the Office of Attorney General represents the biggest fleet ever acquired by the Ministry of Justice at any point in time. Distinguished guests, may I also place on record the support of the former Chief Director of the Office of Attorney General, Mr. Suleiman Ahmed, and the current Chief Director, Suebatu Adam. The two have been phenomenal in the examination of contracts and processes for payment of certificates presented by the contractor. And I should also say that the support of my wife and family has also been immeasurable. Many weekends, especially after church on Sunday, I drive them straight to the site to inspect the state of completion. Not even the complaints of hunger from the little ones could deter me. And I was intrigued when my daughter asked me yesterday in response to a statement I made that I was going to commission the Law House today. Is it done so soon? I felt a sense of satisfaction. Mr. President, I dream of a modern public legal service for our nation, fully equipped to live up to its onerous constitutional and statutory duties of rendering competent legal advice to the Republic of Ghana and representing the state in the complexities of modern-day local and international transactions. The Law House represents a giant step towards realizing that dream. Consisting of 12 stories, 10 stories above ground, and a 2-tier basement for car park, is a model for efficiency of the use of public land. It will house the 3 divisions of the Office of Attorney General, i.e. the Civil Division, Prosecutions Division, and the Legislative Drafting Division. In addition to a good number of offices for state attorneys, it boasts of a vast conference room which the Ghana Bar Association can use for occasionally, of course for a fee. A canteen, 2 libraries, rooms for pupils, interns and researchers, kitchenettes, and a big space on the 10th floor for parties. The Attorney General's facilities include a conference room which can seat about 30 to 34 people, whilst there are 2 specific suites for 2 Deputy Attorney General, including a study and a room for their own personal assistants. In view of the peculiar situation of the Office of Attorney General, in which over 90% of the attorneys are women, I suggested to the contractor the setting up of a special room for nursing mothers that is a lactation room or even gymnasium for them to keep up their shape after delivery. However, the contractor would not oblige. We can sort it out later on. The President, towards realizing the dream of a modern public legal service, I dare say that the era where regional offices of the Attorney General, a Minister of Justice, and other agencies of the ministry perch in the corner of buildings belonging to other government institutions or are sometimes thrown out of premises in which they are licensees should be over soon. I am of the respectful view that every regional office of the Minister of Justice ought to own at least a 3-story edifice. And I have commenced discussions in this regard with the World Bank towards the possibility of a funding for this project. I've assured the board chairman of the Legal Aid Commission that upon the completion of the Law House, I will spearhead efforts to obtain funding for the construction of a modern permanent office for the Legal Aid Commission. In the meantime, I hereby indicate that I will relinquish the use of the former office block belonging to the Office of Attorney General for the Legal Aid Commission to utilize at its new office. Ultimately, the building behind us, which presently houses the Council for Law Reporting, in which the Legal Aid Commission is a licensee, clearly has had 8 better days behind it, and will have to be replaced with a much more modern building in a few years, worthy of the noble services which the 2 institutions discharge in our country. The Office of the Law Reform Commission will experience the same thing. But of course, as we know, this will become reality only when we break the 8. I know state attorneys are very discerning and they know what to do. The President, when I take account of certain developments in the recent past, particularly activities like the construction of over 100 courthouses, or 120 bungalows for judges of various courts across the country, as well as the events we are witnessing today, all of which have had a far-reaching effect of transforming justice delivery and the quality of public legal service, I'm compelled to christen the era in which we live as the golden age of infrastructural development of the law. Indeed, hardly has there been a stage in the history of our nation in which there has been a whirlwind of infrastructural development insofar as legal service and justice delivery is concerned. A core component of the modern legal service I envisage for the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice is the strengthening of the litigating capacity of the office to rise to the demands of various facets of civil litigation, including international arbitration and cases in foreign courts and tribunals. I am happy to state that the quality of representation of the state by the Office of Attorney General has considerably increased as the state holds its own in most international arbitrations without the aid of foreign counsel, and most importantly, has gone on to achieve tremendous success in this regard. Even though the last 4 years has seen an extraordinary upsurge in international arbitration cases against the state, conspicuously, the state has emerged victorious in all the awards given in the international arbitrations it has participated in. We have shown that when given the opportunity, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Distinguished guests, last night, as I looked in admiration at how orderly and almost bare the desk in my new office looked, and those of you who are quite close to me know that I like spaces, big spaces. I quickly remembered that in less than a day, mountains of file will clutter my desk. Without a doubt, we must move away from this unhealthy situation. We cannot have a modern legal service without a fully functional, digitized working environment. Thus, a significant phase in the creation of the modern legal service I speak about is the operationalization of an integrated information management system for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, or a fully digitized operation of the office. A complete electronic management of all records at the office is non-negotiable. We cannot allow paper to clutter our working environment and destroy the beauty of what we have achieved with this law house. Fully cognizant of the supreme benefits of technology, I will strive to augment the capacity of the ministry to digitize its operations by adding a fully functional modern electronic law library to these facilities, as well as ensuring a complete electronic management of all records. But of course, this is subject to breaking the eight. I've said before that the well-oiled Attorney General's office is the biggest signpost for improved conditions in the practice of law. The industry of state attorneys must be properly complemented with a supply of resources needed to assist in the discharge of their functions. It's my hope that today marks the beginning of the realization of my quest to set up an efficient, modern public legal service. May the Law House live up to its purpose of being the symbol of excellence in legal service and a catalyst for an enhanced role of the Office of Attorney General in the affairs of state. May God bless the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice as we take these giant strides into the future together. God bless us all. Thank you very much.